Welcome to California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. We are joined by Matt Cate. He is the Executive Director of the California State Association of Counties. We're coming to you from the Sacramento Bureau of the California Channel, and I'd like to speak with you, sir, about the drought, which is just devastating on so many levels. And I want to talk to you about the county perspective. The big issue that's percolating, if I may say, in counties is the question about groundwater. What's happening with the groundwater under the 58 counties? What do we know today in terms of regulation of groundwater in our state?
Well, we don't regulate much of the groundwater below California. Unlike other states, it has been largely unregulated for most of our history.
And that's really an understatement. As I understand it, about 49 states regulate groundwater, and we are the only state. Now, in the past, that may not have been a problem, but as I understand what's happening, right now, you have folks that are really in a panic, which we understand, and they're just drilling deeper and deeper and deeper. And in some communities, especially in the Central Valley, we're getting what we call subsidence. So the ground is kind of collapsing on itself.
That's right. There's been some amazing images of whole small dams starting to sink. Wow. You know, it's been really something else. And the drought is hitting those Central Valley communities hard anyway. Mm-hmm. And now to put on top of it this issue of, are we going to run out of groundwater? Are some of these farms going to go out of business?
Right.
It's a really tough time.
So there is a move within the legislature to regulate groundwater. On the most basic level, how do counties feel about the regulation of groundwater basins? I know counties aren't monolithic, but has CSAC taken a position or looked into this?
Yeah, so on the whole, we recognize we need to regulate groundwater in some way. The counties, as always, we live and die by the idea of local control.
Sure.
Local communities should have a big say in how their resources are regulated. And so I think we're open to the idea, but we're going to continue to push for making sure that each county has a big say in how that's done.
And I believe that the legislation that is really on the top of the agenda, I believe supported by Senator Pavley and Assemblyman Dickinson, would give the local counties the control they desire. If the counties don't exercise that control, then the state would step in. Is that where we're at right now?
Well, they do give the local areas the ability to self-regulate, and the question is going to be, how does that happen, right? Is it going to be through a JPA, a Joint Powers Authority, or through a water district working in partnership with the county? There's a lot yet to be decided, and so we're going to have to stay tuned to figure out how this is going to work.
At the same time, we know that certain groundwater basins are polluted. I think about some of the groundwater basins in the Los Angeles area as a result of some of the military industry that had been very active in the 50s and 60s. Where do we go on that front? Is that something that really needs to be addressed through some type of capital spending project, a bond, whatever it may be?
Well, when you're talking about the Los Angeles area in particular, you're talking about the eighth largest economy in the world,
of course, yes.
Whatever. And so the state has to be involved in terms of funding the big projects.
Right.
And so we're continuing, whether it's, we've talked before about public safety, we want the state involved on that issue. Here, whether it comes to, we need the state involved in above ground storage.
Right.
We need the state involved in providing for groundwater cleanup, and we need the state involved on the levees issues too. So
when we come back, I want to continue our conversation, but talk more about what's happening on the prison side. I know that you're actively involved in those discussions. For our viewers on HLN, I want to thank you so much for joining us. For our other viewers, we're going to be right back speaking with Matt Cate of CSAC.